What is going on with your YouTube? This is Dave from Tech Refresh coming at you with another video. All right, man, the Pixel 6 Pro. I've had it for a little bit over 2 weeks, and I just wanted to have a discussion. This is not no edited video or anything like that. Look, this is a discussion. As things come up, I'll speak on it, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm feeling about this phone. You know, things I like, things I dislike. So this is going to be a little long. Settle in. Get active in the comments, man. If you have a Pixel 6 or if you're on the fence about getting one, ask questions, whatever you want, or comments so we can debate down in the comments. All right, Pixel 6 Pro, what do I think about it, man? Look, this is what I was saying before this phone came out was hopefully Google's coming out with the flagship that we've been waiting for. I think ever since the Pixel 2 XL for me, I've wanted a flagship Pixel phone. I'll answer the question now. Is this the flagship phone that I've been waiting for from Google? For the most part, yeah, it actually is. I have documented my issues with this phone. You can check the cards in the top right corner. There are some things that I do not like about it. But after using this phone for 2 weeks, I can say it's been a pleasure to use. Now, I've run into some issues, but overall, man, it's a flagship and it's Pixel software. So that's exactly what I was asking for. I've heard a lot of people who are a little unsatisfied with the phone, and they can't really put their finger on it for the most part. And sometimes it just feels like people are a little unrealistic. I mean, we, for the most part, knew it was going to be a Pixel phone. This does not do anything out of the ordinary from a Pixel phone. And it's got flagship hardware. Whether you like the hardware or not, that's to be debated. I'm so-so on it. I think I still do not like the glossy back. I still do not like the curved screen. The visor doesn't bother me. I just want Pixel to just improve on this hardware next year. Do not change course and head in a different direction. I think that's kind of what's been plaguing the Pixel so far, but stay on this course, man. Let this, maybe the visor be a signature. So maybe make a matte visor and a different soft touch material, something, I don't know, along the lines of a Galaxy S21 or whatever, something just a little more premium and modern. Just the gloss doesn't do it for me. I know it kind of just, it's premium to most people, but glossy, it's just, I mean, I hate it. As soon as you take it out, you're never going to get the phone looking like it was when it was sitting in that box brand new. So the hardware, more so, the screen is outstanding. The screen is just, I love this screen, man. It's just the 120 refresh rate, 120 hertz refresh rate is outstanding. The colors, the brightness, everything about this screen is great. Don't like the curved size, but it is what it is. Great screen. Hardware, I do not have issues with. It does scream premium. It does scream flagship to me. No issues. So we got the Pixel software. That's, you know, look, this phone does have issues, man. I document it. The fingerprint sensor is still not good. There was an update. People said it sped it up. I just think it's a pace too slow. And my issue with the fingerprint sensor is you push it, right? So on camera, it looks fast. In real life, to me, it's just not. I feel like when you push it, you feel a vibrate. And when the screen opens, you feel a vibrate. I feel like the screen should open on that first vibrate. It's like boom, boom. So it's one pace off to me. So it should just be boom and that's it. It opens. But no, you get two little ticks as the screen opens. And I'm just not a fan of this fingerprint sensor. So that's a knock on it. But look, Material U, we're going to change course. Material U has been a pleasure to use. It's just, I thought it was a little gimmicky. I'm like, all right, yeah, the phone, becomes you and whatever, however they were selling it. And I saw people make videos on it. And I was like, I think you guys are probably overrating this. This is before I got my hands on it. I just really like it. Like for this wallpaper, it picked great accent colors. It's not always the best. It depends on the wallpaper you have, but I do like all the little subtle things it does, like change the color of your widget based on the location of the widget on your screen. And just all Google's apps has Material U baked into it. The keyboard has the accent, the calculator has the accent, the calendar, keep notes, the clock, they all have the accent. So, and I use a lot of Google services and a lot of Google, built-in apps. So it just keeps a cohesive experience with the phone. So I can say that I am a fan of Material U. This, just the notification shade itself, you see it. It just looks good, man. Look, when you change the experience and I can refresh this and just pick another wallpaper and the experience changes, I'm a fan because I get tired of these phones real quick. I'm not a customizer, custom launcher person. I just don't have the eye for great custom design. So I'm glad that Material U is doing it for me without me having to make my own choices and decisions. Now, Material U, when you have like punchy colors, it gets a little off because the accents are all these like kind of muted pastel colors. So sometimes it kind of doesn't go. Also with black and white wallpapers, it kind of doesn't know what to do with itself. But overall, Material U is absolutely great. Now, another issue, we gonna switch back and forth between things I love and issues. Let's talk battery life with this phone. I've had it for 2 weeks, man. I really can't figure out the battery life, man. When I thought I was turning the corner on battery life and it was good, I've had bad days with battery life. And I'm thinking that normal day-to-day activities, this thing is good. A lot of people who reviewed this phone are working from home. They have access to a charger all the time. And even myself, I drive to work. I plug my phone in for Android Auto. So it's charging on my way to work. So, 30, 35 minutes, the phone's charging. When I'm home, it's charging. So yeah, if I get home and it's 70, 65, 70%, it feels like good battery life. And I thought like, okay, this phone actually does have good battery life. They learned my usage and it's stabilizing. The battery life is good. Well, that's not always the case, man. If you have like a day where it's a day out, maybe you leave at say 9 in the morning and you're doing phone things, you're recording video, you're taking pictures, you're scrolling social media, maybe even a little YouTube television. I was actually watching a little YouTube TV, watching my fantasy team suck. And then you look at your phone and you're like, oh, if it's, 2 o'clock, I have like 35, 40% battery life. And then it becomes a race. It becomes a race of getting back home. Is this phone going to last? And it's depending on what you're doing. For me, it's not an all day phone. It's not an all day battery phone, man. I was a heavy user today and I had to charge it when I got home. I had about 8% left and I got home at maybe 4 or 5 o'clock after, leaving the house with 100%. At 11 in the morning, or no, like 10:30. So like for events, say a day at the theme park, or just something where you're going to be using it heavy, especially the camera, video, it's not an all day battery life phone for me. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully we get some updates. Hopefully it's still learning my usage. So my day to day, what I do every day for work, it's been fine. Anytime there's any kind of event or something I'm doing all day where I'm not going to be able to charge it, hasn't lasted me. And that's, battery life is heavily weighted on judging a phone. All that being said, still love using a phone, but you know what? I can kill it fairly easily. All right, back to things I love. Look, you can't talk about the Pixel for as long as I've been talking in this video and not talk about the camera, man. Let's talk about it. Look, I'm not comparing it to anything. I've said that before. I judge a good camera based on when I take a picture, is it usable? Do I want to delete it and take another one? I'm not going to talk about it bringing up the highlights and the shadows and the dynamic range and the white balance. Look, those are not things that I look for when I take a picture and say, is this a good picture? I'll save that for you guys. It's a Pixel camera. And one thing we know about Pixel phones, whether they took the budget route or whatever route they were taking, this bad boy is going to be good. And the camera doesn't miss, man. It's pretty much spot on. Every picture you take, whether you like it or not, it's normally ends up being a good photo, man. I just haven't taken any bad pictures with this thing. Look, I think people were expecting a little bit more out of the camera just because of how much they accented the camera with this design. So you didn't get anything super special. But that being said, I mean, what more do you want out of a Pixel camera? You know, it takes outstanding pictures. Now, selfie camera leaves a little bit to be desired. Luckily, I'm not a selfie guy. I'm not a person that takes a ton of those, so I don't have a lot of experience. But the few times I've taken a selfie, I've been just, you know, it's been take it or leave it. But I'm a rear camera shooter guy, and look, I've recorded my daughter's Taekwondo class, video, photos, outings out, man, bright places, everything. Look, I've used it in quite a few different settings, and it's performed like a champ every time. So, but it's the Pixel camera. Like, come on. Like, you guys already know. There's no questions about the Pixel camera. Now, can you take an iPhone 13 and take the exact same picture and get a better picture? Maybe. But I don't judge pictures that way because I don't have an iPhone 13 with me when I have a Pixel. So, great camera. This is the Pixel experience. This is the flagship Pixel experience. I have some of the same gripes I had about the Pixel 2 XL, and I love that phone. That's one of my favorite phones. Wait, I think I got it. That's one of my favorite phones of all time is the Pixel 2 XL. I cracked my screen, which is very unfortunate. But look, I had the same gripes about this home screen that I have with the Pixel 2 XL. Look, for it being like Android, it's not stock Android. I don't know. Does that even exist anymore? But the Pixel UI, I just don't like how things are locked on your screen. Now, look, this search bar, luckily for Google, this is where I would have it. Like, I don't want to move it. I would like the opportunity to move it, but honestly, I would have it right here. I Google search things maybe 100 times a day, so I like exactly where it's at. I'm not a launcher person, so yeah, I understand all the stuff I'm complaining about. You can change that with a launcher, but no, I normally just go whatever the operating system looks like. That's what it's going to be for me. But so I would like the ability to move it, but honestly, I wouldn't move it. Now, coming up here, that's a different animal for me. This at a glance would not be here. And I do not like that being locked up there. Look, I'm sure, yeah, of course you can get rid of it with a launcher, but here you just can't. It's like, oh, okay, customize it. I thought I can get rid of it, but no, you could just change what shows up there. If I'm wrong, go ahead and get active in the comments and let me know. But yeah, I just don't like how it takes up all that space. So it's just this little thing over here, right? But if I wanted to move a widget up across from it, nah, not gonna happen. They're not letting you move a widget up there. So it basically takes up this whole space primarily because if you have like a calendar event or whatever, it'll fill that area in. So it needs that. But I would just get rid of that altogether. It's not terribly helpful for me. I never think, oh, let me check the weather up there, or that's where I go to check the date. That's just not a useful app that should not be locked on the home screen on an Android device. That's not very Android of you, Google, to lock that up there. But I had the same issues years ago with my Pixel 2 XL. But look, those are just minor gripes, man. You're going to have issues with every device you get. Look, I got all kind of small gripes, like the notification shade. It's dope when you have the dark theme. But when you have the light theme, I do not like how the notification shade turns into this two-tone shade. I want the whole thing to be light. Now, I normally don't roll with a light theme, but every now and then I get tired of my device, want to change things up. You can see things look a little different here. But then you pull down the notification shade and it's still dark up there. And I'm like, okay. So I thought that was an issue. I thought that was like some type of bug or glitch. So I reset the phone, and no, apparently that's how it's supposed to be. If you guys know how to change that without a launcher, let me know. But luckily, 90% of the time I have a dark theme, so it's not an issue. Man, look, 2 weeks is not enough time with a Pixel. I'm just telling you guys that right now. Anybody who reviewed this phone in 7 to 10 days, that's just not how Pixels work, man. They get updated. constantly. You get the pixel drops. They get better over time, man. I think if any phone gets better over time, I think Pixel has shown that it's, you know, generally going to be better over time. I felt like by the end of my Pixel 2 XL, it was just way better than it was when it launched. Now, we'll see. I'm sure that'll be the case with the Pixel 6 Pro. But overall, this is the flagship I've been asking for, man. It's a flagship body with Pixel's interface, UI, software. And I'm just a fanboy for Pixel software, man. It's just something about it. I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's got questionable battery life. You don't like the fingerprint sensor. How could you say, you know, it's a great device? I just love using it, man. I don't know what to say. A lot of things, it's hard to put your finger on it with a Pixel until you use another phone and you use the One UI and you're like, ugh. So look, recommendable, man. If you on the fence about the Pixel 2 Pixel 6 Pro, I would say give it a try, man. I just cannot see how you're going to be let down by this phone as long as you take into account it's a phone, man. It's a $899 phone. Don't expect it to work wonders. It rivals any phone out there on the market. I put it up against anything. There's no other phone that I'd rather use than a Pixel. So yes, it's recommendable. 2 weeks. That's where I'm at. Give it a month. You know, look, this is an ongoing review for me, so give it a month. We'll see. All right. Get active in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll get at you guys another time. Peace.